All right, so like I said, eight match card for SummerSlam, and like I said, since SmackDown ended, we don't know what's going to happen with Jeff Hardy and AJ, but they're probably not going to be on the show. But that kind of sucks if they're not.
You know, I feel like AJ Styles has not been on the last 5, even though that's a stretch. I say on the last couple pay-per-views. Ever since Money in the Bank, I don't think he's been on a pay-per-view since.
He missed Extreme Rules?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, he been missing pay-per-views then. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, we still don't know. But as of right now, we got an 8-match card. So, let's get into it. And actually, this year's card, like I said, SummerSlam has usually been consistent. It actually looks like a pretty dope card, especially when it comes to story building. So, let's go into... Usually, I start off with, like, okay, what's the one I'm least interested in? But I'm interested in mostly all these stories. But let's just start with the Street Profits taking on Andrade and Angel Garza with Selena Vega. We seen that Selena Vega was the one to poison Montez Ford. Bianca Belair like, don't touch my husband. She gave her World Strongest Slam on the floor. So I know Selena Vega on the floor. So I know she's gonna be out there. So the prime time, the Street Profits are ready, and they got the hit on straight. So who do you got winning?
Go past that. You just gonna call them prime time players?
Yeah, I keep doing that. I keep calling them prime time players. No days off, man. But no, Street Profits. So who wins this? Do we get new tag champs, or do the Street Profits retain?
I think we get new tag champs to do something fresh, and they've had the belts like over almost like 200 days.
I think so.
Because they had at least since WrestleMania. WrestleMania been like 160 or more than 160. So I feel like maybe it'd be time to change them up and give them to just to see if they would do something fresh with it. They could get them back the titles at Payback if they want to. Like,
oh god,
you know,
Payback is really next, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
next week, I was saying like if by Raw they say okay, this ain't gonna work, they're gonna put them back on the Street Profits at Payback. You know.
Well, I mean, I like Garza. I'm a fan of Angel Garza, and I like Andrade. And I mean, I would like to see them as tag champions. For some reason, though, the Street Profits have been taking too much, smoke, as they should say, coming into the coming weeks. And I'm like, he got to get his win back for. Well, however, he did beat Andrade on Raw this past Monday, so he did technically get his win back. So. You know my rule, you look good on TV, you lose on the pay-per-view. So, you know what? I'm going to go with you. I'm going to do Andrade and Angel Garza win it or become the new Raw Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
But I'm telling you right now, this is going to be open. Or
they do a WWE version and have Montez and Dawkins win here and they had them lose it next week at the pay-per-view.
That would suck. But that's WWE's way, though. That's it. Even Stevens booking in a kind of way. But yeah, so I think it's going to be the match to open up the show. Apollo Crews. Oh, I'm listening.
Now, I was going to say, okay, but the next match is what you're about to think. What you're about to say, I think this is going to be the first match.
Okay. Apollo Crews taking on MVP for United States Championship. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin from the Hurt Business is banned from ringside. So, what do you think is going to happen in this matchup?
I still think I think Cedric might come out, actually.
Yo, I was thinking the same thing. They planted the seed because when Apollo Crews is like, yo, man, Cedric, don't go out. It's going to be me, Ali, and Ricochet going to go out there and take him on. He's like, well, what about me, man? He said, no, you just got that full Nelson, man. You ain't ready to go out there. Don't worry, we got this. So then MVP was getting in his head a little bit. And then even though he took the 24/7 championship from Shelton Benjamin and got it back, Cedric's tired of being the loser. So if you know they dirty. So if Benjamin and Lashley can't come out, but Alexander can screw Apollo Crews over and have MVP win a championship.
Well, wait a minute now. Still is Cedric now. I think he'll come out and try, and then Apollo Crews will do something, and then probably move on to something else. I like it, and I still think MVP should get a championship because of his run that he's been on. But then when they add Shelton, and then if they add Cedric, then I think MVP should just be the manager, and they probably give it to Lashley or something
Well,
that's just me.
Lashley needs the main belt.
He does, but since he doesn't have it, I think that Shelton could have the 24/7, and maybe MVP and Cedric can have the tag belts, and then actually have the US if they want to make them the mid like that or something.
It could be. Like I said, I don't know what the. Well, we'll get to the championship later, but yeah. So you got Apollo winning or MVP winning?
I got Apollo winning, and then him still being in the feud with them, and then payback is when he fights Cedric or Bobby for the belt and then loses.
Well, MVP keeps talking about this is a business, and I'm gonna put you over my knee and sun you like I'm supposed to. MVP knows that he needs help against Apollo, and I think having Cedric Alexander come out and screw Apollo over, I think is going to be the move, and to have MVP win the championship back, and then at Payback, we get Apollo and MVP again, but you know with the championship change hands. So I got MVP winning this match.
Okay.
Let's go on to the double. No, we're not doing that. The no disqualification loser leaves WWE match that was just announced on SmackDown. No longer a hair versus hair matchup. Sonya Deville taking on Mandy Rose. Now, there has been a lot of things that came out with Sonya Deville. We could probably talk about that a little bit later in the podcast. New details to what happened last week with the stalker. So tonight on SmackDown when we record this, they switched up the card for real. It's no longer, it's Mandy Rose trying to offer an olive branch to Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville says no, she don't want that. I don't mind going bald, but since you want to chicken out, we're going to up the ante. No disqualification. The loser leaves WWE because I can't stand to look at your face. So obviously, as it should, this thing that happened has taken a toll on both these women because they've changed up the storyline for real. And you don't want them to, and they both kind of need time off, but I think that Sonya Deville, with what's been going on, needs to take that time off and to get her head right, because that was a traumatic experience that you don't just wake up the next day and be cool with it. I don't care if she's a trained fighter or not. If somebody is in there who is infatuated with you that bad, who is trying to kill like your best friend, like I said, we'll get into it later. No. You need time to go and regroup. And once again, and like I said, working in these conditions in the pandemic, this ain't worth it. It's not worth it. So I got Mandy Rose winning here. Sonya Deville takes the time off.
Yeah, I got Mandy winning here. I still feel like Mandy's gonna take some time off too.
Yeah, she probably take some time off too. I think these friends are gonna sit there and I think they made a no disqualification match because they probably talked about it like, look, this is a good way to let out pent up aggression. Like, let it all out in this matchup to the point where.
Oh, no, she let it out on Dana Brooke.
She slapped shit out Dana Brooke. I'm saying, but for them to let out, trust each other as friends, and you can really give some heat to this rivalry to the point where it's like Mandy still wins, but she got beat down so bad that she need to leave too. So you can play it off like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Mandy Rose winning. We got Mandy Rose winning. So Asuka's doing double duty, and she's doing unfortunately. But now since Bayley could not beat the clock on SmackDown, we have Bayley going first to face Asuka. So you know what? This may be the opening match also because Asuka need a break.
Yeah. Yep.
So we start off with Bayley versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Prime, who you have?
I'm gonna say Sasha will come out and help Bayley win the belt. Win the title. Win the match.
Final answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Sasha comes out and helps Bayley win the match.
Okay.
And I feel like Shayna Baszler gonna come out there.
He said Shayna Brooke.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah. I feel like Shayna might come out there, and then that's when Sasha comes out and somehow helps Bayley get the win.
Well, I don't think since technically Bayley and Sasha are SmackDown superstars. Are you all right over there? You enter a wind tunnel?
Nah, my thing came out on accident. My headphones came out on accident.
Since Bayley and Sasha are SmackDown superstars, you need the championship, and it needs to stay in SmackDown. So I have Sasha Banks coming to help Bayley out when it comes to the championship, because and then Asuka's going to lose that one. But going into Raw, I think if you're going to do a good storyline, you got to play it up of how it was. Sasha Banks is a 4 or 5 time women's champion and never successfully defended the championship, not one time. Every time she defended the championship, she lost the championship. So why are they going to change it now? Sasha Banks is going to lose to Asuka. Asuka's going to win back her Raw Women's Championship. That's going to set up Shayna Baszler and Asuka, because they're the actual Raw superstars. The only reason why that Banks and Bayley are going to all the shows is because they're the women's tag team champions. And since Bayley's going to keep her championship and Sasha's not, Bayley's going to play it, because if you see on SmackDown, what was it? Asuka Bayley didn't help Sasha when she would get attacked by Asuka. So
she'll never help her. So that's gonna be a part of the story.
Exactly. So this is obviously going to be. So yes, Bayley keeps her championship, but Sasha loses hers. As we gonna put holes into this leading up to WrestleMania. So who do you get? Is that how you got it going, or you switching it around?
Yeah, I got Sasha helping Bayley win the match, and then Bayley not doing nothing to help Sasha, and then she loses.
All right. So now it's a street fight. Dominic Mysterio with his daddy Rey Mysterio is taking on the Monday Night Messiah Seth Rollins with Murphy. So now this is, when they usually make street fights or no disqualification matches, it's because you don't want to expose the new people, so like that. It helps them out.
Uh-huh.
How good do you think this match is going to be?
I mean, why not just make it? Mysterio can get it in anytime he wants. I mean, it's no disqualification. I mean,
yeah,
might as well make it a 2-on-2 tornado tag, or a 2-on-2 and just have no Dominic and Seth be the only one to pin each other.
Yeah, I think they would definitely make Dominic and I think the Mysterio Dominic thing's gonna come a payback, but I think it's gonna be I think Dominic's gonna show us something, because Dominic, he does got some moves. He got some high flying moves for a tall guy, and he does hit a nice left 619. I think Dominic's 619 is better than Cesaro's.
Oh yeah, I don't think Cesaro just try to get to the next. That's a transition move for him.
Yeah. So I like Dominic 619. So I think it's going to be a good match. And once again, there are 3 wrestlers. Actually, there's more wrestlers, but I've said this many times before. There are 3 wrestlers that can have a 5-star match with a broomstick. And what I mean by that is you can put them in the ring with anybody. They can bring anybody to a good match. Do you know who those 3 people are? I'm going to see if you know. No. I said it before.
Shawn Michaels? Oh, you talking now or
now?
When?
I'm talking about now. Because there's plenty of people over the years, but I'm talking about in the business today.
AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and...
Yep, there's one more.
I don't know who you think. Daniel Bryan?
No, it's not Daniel Bryan.
Is it WWE, AEW?
It's AEW.
Omega?
Exactly. Those are my 3. I've said it in multiple videos. These are the 3 guys in the business today. You could probably give or take a Will Ospreay, but I'm going to go with AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and Kenny Omega. You can put them in the ring with virtually anybody, and they can pull a good match out their ass. Look, Seth Rollins had a great match with The Miz at Backlash for the Intercontinental Championship when he's doing the Intercontinental Championship run. Great match. And Miz is a decent wrestler, but he ain't no 5-star, person. But he had a great match with Seth Rollins. AJ Styles had a good match. Listen to me now. A good match with Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal, he had a good match with James Ellsworth.
Yeah, but he almost killed him. But AJ Styles had made decent matches with James Ellsworth, but especially Jinder Mahal. So that's why and then Kenny Omega, well, we seen him wrestle a blow up doll. But in all seriousness,
and an 8-year-old girl.
Okay, but in all seriousness though, Kenny Omega. Especially when I just seen them have good match with the Dark Order, even though they are good. Kenny Omega, you can put him in there with anybody, and this is like, oh my god, they will steal the fucking show. So when you have Seth Rollins in there with Dominic, that's the perfect person to be in there with. He's going to bring him to a good match. Seth is winning, though. Seth is winning this matchup. Because I think at Payback is when you get the tag team matchup, and then Dominic and Mysterio get the tag team, get the win, so they can celebrate together.
Okay, yeah, I would say, I would want to say Seth. I just feel like they're gonna have the Rey Mysterio ass. You know what? No, I'll say Seth because I feel like they're gonna tie down Mysterio or something to have him watch.
Yeah, because I think Austin Aries is coming back.
I don't.
Austin Theory. I'm about shit. Y'all gonna bring back Velveteen Dream?
I don't think he's. Yeah, but I think they have more evidence on him.
Ooh.
I think like they actually had like stuff for him rather than like a lot of good evidence. I think they actually had something on Austin Theory.
Oh, okay. Well, I still got Seth winning, beating Dominic. And then I like the idea of having Mysterio watch, and then at Payback, it's a tag team matchup against him and Murphy, and then they win that matchup, and then they can stand tall as a family, kind of like how the Rose family did over the Shield.
I feel like they're gonna do Mysterio how they did Xavier Woods in the Hell in a Cell, and like hang him up by the apron or by the ring post and just start whooping him with a kendo stick.
No, that's what they did with Jimmy Uso. In the Hell in a Cell, they tied him up in the corner and started wailing on him. Oh, you mean like with the handcuffs?
Yeah.
Oh, that part. I just remember they like pinned him to the side.
No, I'm talking about like put him in the handcuffs and just started wailing on him because he can't move, and then just have him sit there and watch. I don't know. I feel like they might do something like that, like just make him sit and watch while they destroying him.
Yeah.
And then he ends up just ending it.
Yeah, you right. So you got Seth Rollins winning too, right?
Yeah.
All right, and now since this rivalry has gotten some heat behind it, because it definitely didn't for the past two pay-per-views, we got Braun Strowman taking on the Fiend Bray Wyatt, the third version, the three faces of Wyatt. At Money in the Bank, he took on Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt, beat him cleanly. Then at Extreme Rules, he took on Cult Leader Jim Jones Bray Wyatt, and then Bray Wyatt won and took him down to the swamp. Then the Fiend emerged. Now it's the rubber match. Now it's the Fiend. You had the other two versions of Bray Wyatt, so now you're about to get the Fiend. We've seen on SmackDown that he tried to choke slam him, but then the Fiend emerged in the ambo, and it's not over yet, Braun. So this match should have a stipulation to it, but unfortunately it's not. But I have the Fiend win the Universal Championship. What about you?
I think this is where the Fiend wins it.
Because you know what it's come from. First of all, the Fiend is going to win it, and the Fiend is going to maintain that championship all the way to WrestleMania until burnout. Damn it. So Roman comes, and then Roman takes the championship off the Fiend.
I think so. If things are good back then, because if not, then
well, like I said, we are starting to
if
force
not,
out.
If not, then we'll be getting instead of banner, we're getting bam.
Oh yeah, the rematch. Yeah, no, we don't need that. But yeah, I think Roman and the Fiend is the one that's set for WrestleMania 37. So yeah, I have the Fiend winning. Now it's time for the main event, which really got some good heat. Drew McIntyre taking on the Viper, Randy Orton, for the WWE Championship. Now, y'all know, I actually did a video 5 years ago before YouTube took the whole channel down. I did my top 5 favorite wrestlers. Randy Orton is my 4th favorite wrestler of all time. I've said it, and I will keep saying it. And the Legend Killer angle was my favorite. I ain't talking about the Apex Predator. I ain't talking about the guy who DDT Stephanie McMahon. I'm talking about the Legend Killer. And now, since he brought back a new form of the Legend Killer, Randy Orton has been on fire. His promos have been great. He took out Ric Flair. Even though Shawn's one of my favorite wrestlers, screw you, Shawn. You kind of. I don't know if you see my Raw review, Prime. But
this man took a punt, kick, and an RKO, got up.
It got up like I'm like, hold on. He took down Ric Flair, took down the Big Show, took down Christian, took down Edge. But yeah, Shawn takes the RKO and then a punt kick, and then he's almost back to his senses. I'm like, remember when Ken Shamrock gave him the ankle lock in '97? He had the lollipop in his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like,
I guess old Sean said, I don't get paid that much to sell.
Exactly. I'm about to say, I'm like, yo, that. Yeah, I didn't like that. Especially, I'm like, you can do it for Orton because Orton is one of the top guys in the business. So why not do it? Okay, if Shawn did that for somebody like Ricochet, I got you. But this is Orton we're talking about here. And if I was Orton, I would have gotten the back and chewed his ass out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have. I mean, you can't get me. I would have gotten the back and chewed his ass out. So, this rivalry has been great. I don't know where this rivalry is going to necessarily go after this, because if Orton wins, you already know, unless McIntyre gets it back, Edge is coming back, and I'm like, Edge and Orton does not need a championship.
Nope.
It don't force that on there because Edge don't need it, Orton don't need it. They don't need the championship. So if Drew McIntyre wins, who is there for Drew to face? Because they almost beating everybody. So I'm gonna go Orton wins the match, and McIntyre wins it back at either Payback or Survivor Series or Royal Rumble.
I would say they give it to Orton. But I don't know who Orton would beat for it. I mean, who would beat Orton for it? It's bang.
Well, I mean, you got people that can go up against Orton, but I
think they're gonna keep it with a theme though. I think they're gonna keep it with somebody that's kind of been there for a while. Like,
like
ain't
a
gonna
legend.
be no upcoming and new. Yeah, ain't gonna be no not a legend, but somebody that's been there. Like McIntyre's been there for over 10 years, or technically.
Yeah.
You know. I don't think they're gonna give it to somebody that's been there for like less than 3 or 4 years. Well, that's just my opinion.
I mean, yeah, they got the Legend Killer theme going, so I could see that happening. Then here they go, they'll call Triple H.
Bring Hogan back so he can RKO him on the card.
Yo, bring Hogan back so he can get his win. How about that one? Because
I don't want to just see him get a win. I want to see him destroy Hogan.
Oh yeah, over that was the best RKO ever. But everybody knows 2006 Randy Orton should have won that match. Just saying. But yeah, I have Orton win anyway. So that right there, guys, is our SummerSlam prediction. So make sure you guys tune in as we're going to give you our SummerSlam prediction. I mean, our review after SummerSlam is over. Hopefully, right, prime time.
Yep.
And then you can join us for NXT because let's see, Takeover's at 8 and Dynamite's at 6. So it's going to be from like 6 to 10 of just straight wrestling.
Dynamite is on prime time. What are you talking about? You gonna just undermine them like that?
Oh yeah, you're right. They on prime time right now. Prime time. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out. And like I said, we plan on now. The thing with that is we plan on doing that. Put the Wednesday Night War up and all that because we still got to do the NXT part because NXT was on Wednesday, and that was their go home show to Takeover 30, and then do our Takeover 30 review also. So a lot of wrestling content coming your way. So make sure you guys, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel or just make sure you always check out all the content that we have coming for you.